Hello everyone. Welcome to another video of Inside Science and Creative Technologies. Today in this video we are going to discuss about random forest classifier. So starting with the lecture, we have covered basics of machine learning and classification in previous videos, but we will briefly discuss what they are. Classification is a fundamental step in machine learning. In classification, we want to know in which category the unknown input file will fall, whether input belongs to class 1 or it belongs to class 2. To help with this classification problem, we use different classifiers, and random forest classifier is one of them. Random forest is a supervised learning algorithm, which means that dataset contains labeled data. Example, data is already labeled with tags in the dataset. Random forest follows the idea of assemble learning method. Assemble simply means together. In this case, it means random forest combines multiple classifiers and they work together to make accurate prediction for classification process. We already have discussed about difference between supervised and unsupervised learning, and over here we are focusing that the random forest is allowing different classification voting algorithms to get the final prediction for the class related to the features. Random forest consists of multiple decision trees which all work together to make correct predictions. Each decision tree in the random forest make its own prediction, so we get multiple predictions, but we want only one final answer. For that, voting is done and the prediction with majority voting is selected as accurate prediction. In simple words, random forest uses multiple decision trees which work together to make a final accurate prediction. The more the number of decision trees in a random forest, the more accurate our prediction will become. Now, over here, we need to understand that even in k nearest neighbor, we learned that it is majority voting based model. But over there, we were calculating the Euclidean distance of the new data point or sample to the particular other class sample points. But over here what we are doing is we are creating different trees. We are creating decision trees, or you can say decision branches, upon which every branch would have here every sample will be playing its role. But in knn, only the k value was being decided to see that what how many samples will be contributing towards the vote. But over here what we have is we have a decision tree, or we can say that different features will be evaluated differently, and then votes of different evaluation will be carried out to for majority voting to get the final prediction, or upon which the final prediction is made. Now, let's take an example to understand from real life situation. Consider we have fruit and we have tree decision. We give the fruit to each decision tree and gets to know which kind of fruit it is. In other words, we take prediction from each decision tree. Random forest contains all the decision trees, so it sees that the first tree predicts a mango. The second tree says that it's not a mango, it's a pineapple. And the third decision tree again predicts that it is an apple. Right? So, random forest says that, okay, I have two votes for apple. So, this particular fruit is an apple. So, now Apple have one vote, Apple have two votes, Mango have one vote. So Apple won the majority voting, right? So the final prediction would be that the picture is of Apple. This is based on majority voting of decision tree, and in this way, a random forest predicts the unknown input. Let's see what is a decision tree. There are three nodes: root node, decision node, and leaf node. Root node is the point where entire data from a data set is given. Decisions are taken at a decision node, and then we perform splitting at a decision node as well. Leaf nodes are the ending points, and at leaf nodes predictions are made, and leaf node are the ending point where the decision tree is finalized. Here we can well illuminize that how this whole mechanism exactly works. We have this whole is a decision tree, all right? We have a root node, then we have a decision node. These are the decision nodes. Then we have a leaf node. Now over here, the upon these will be carried out the majority voting. Decision tree main role is to break a data set which is given to a root node over here. So breaking a data set into subset is done by the decision tree, and splitting is carried out at nodes and at leaf nodes where final decision or the prediction is made. Now, take an example of taking another example. Now we are having different classes over here. We have four different types, and based on their different features, we have taken two different features. This one is the first feature, this one is the second feature, and these are the total number of types, which means we have this one is type 1, type 2, type 3. This one is again type 3. So we have we can say that we have three classes over here, right, which we want to classify. All right, so we want to categorize each animal based on its features. All right, so now obviously we have a decision tree. We are taking first of all we are taking the weight and into consideration. Now where we are saying that, giving two conditions, we are saying that if the weight is greater than or equal to 35, then it should not be performing this, right? And if it is greater than and equal to 35, then it should be performing this. What is this? Place of living will be defined by these nodes. Okay, so first of all, feature 1, feature 2, F, we can say F2 was used to classify at this stage. Then F1 was used to classify over here. Now we can see that over here we have river end being having more lesser votes than Dale. So that's how it all works. So decision tree working, we can have another example. We are putting time in understanding decision tree because they are the basics for understanding random forest, and random forest relies on their working principle. Let's take another example which will clarify everything for us, where we have a bowl of fruits. Different fruits are present in the bowl. We want to classify or make decision for the classes for various fruits in the bowl based on their features. Features are, let's say, diameter. Okay, so this one is our feature, this one is our feature. We can say color is our feature 1, diameter is our feature 2. We have three classes. This is class 1, this is class 2, this is class 3. All right, two features and under consideration with for three classes classification. Over here we have a root node. We say if diameter is greater than and equal to 3, it should do this, otherwise it should do the other one. I think if yes, then this, if yes, uh, if we okay, I think it's a mistake. If no, then this. All right, obviously it will be other way around. It's a mistake over here. So based on that, then other one is color. We obviously we can classify apple, grapes, and mango. This is yeah, this is mango. You can just ignore this r from here. So apple, grapes, and mango. Obviously the diameter of grape will be really different, so it will be discriminated on the basis of feature 2 at this point. And then apple and mango, sometimes they have same size, so on the basis of their color it will be discriminated later on. So we have a leaf node for that, and based on that we can say, okay, you see the grapes, they are being identified very differently, and on the basis of color we are able to differentiate mango and apple. So we can say that we split the data using each feature. Whichever feature gives us the highest gain, uh, like mean if we choose diameter 2, fruits will be covered by this condition. So now to explain the working of random forest, tests say we can say that okay, we have three trees. We will use the fruit classification example, but with more features involved. Now, what our features can be? Our features can be diameter, color, shape, and growing season as well. So, what we do here, we use three different decision trees, each tree looking at different features to classify a fruit. So decision tree 1 is over here, so we can say that okay, diameter and color features are used for the classification purpose. All right, so moving towards the other decision tree, for that purpose we can say that okay, shape and color features will be used for by decision tree for the classification purpose. Now obviously it will be a completely different decision tree over here. Now we so far we have used two decision trees for the classification of fruits. Another decision tree we are adding on. Now this decision tree is based on diameter and growing season features for classification. All right, and based on that we have made our decision that to which particular class the feature belongs to. Now each decision tree 1, 2, and 3, we are we will be able to get the majority voting out of it. Let's bring all these three decision trees together and combine them to make a random forest. Now random forest comprises of different decision trees, and the output of different decision trees is used for the majority voting to get the final prediction. So for this purpose, combine different decision trees to make a random forest. Each tree classifies a fruit using different features. So now let's consider an unknown fruit and classify it by using its features. There are we have all decision trees being made available. The random forest classifies our very basic one as we can say we have common orange over here. So the random forest classifies it as orange by looking at the features and taking the results from all three decision trees. So that was a working principle and the working example of random forest for us. And to look into the detail that how we identified it, we can say that okay, the diameter was 3.5, the color was orange, so the decision tree was giving us mango over here, okay, and decision tree 2 was giving us orange, decision 3 was giving us this thing. So maybe you can say okay, with just this is a small example, so we can see over here that how exactly it works. But for the bigger scope, we can say okay, let's suppose orange was labeled as X, right? So we can say that, and this mango was labeled as Y. So we can say that okay, X got 2 votes, Y got 1 vote. So that means the majority voting wins, and the output of the classifier will be orange. That is all with the random forest. I hope you like the video. Do like the video, do subscribe, click the bell icon, and do comment as well. I hope you are enjoying the videos and you are learning about machine learning and stuff. I will be back with another video very soon. Look, you must be looking forward to it. Thank you so much for your watching it.